Hey everyone, welcome to week 13 of 52 weeks of fiber art. I'm Brandy and today we're going to play with stitching circles. Today I'm going to show you how to stitch circles on fabric. You can stitch on fabric with a stabilizer or right through a little quilt sandwich. Today I have a quilt sandwich with a backing, a batting, and a top. The supplies you need are the quilt sandwich and a simple tack. That's all it takes, plus a little bit of practice. You'll need a bit of masking tape or painter's tape to hold the tack down. So let's get started. So if I want to have a circle on my fabric that's 3 inches, I cut that measurement in half to 1.5 inches. I measure 1.5 inches from the tip of my needle straight to the left, and I put my tack there. You want to take a look and make sure the tack is perfectly lined up with your needle from left to right, and then you tape it down. Once you have your tack in place, this is what's going to guide your fabric. So you want to choose a spot on your fabric that'll be the center of your circle, and that's where your tack will be. Make sure you have enough space around so that there's 1.5 inches to create that 3-inch circle. So you simply put the tack through your fabric, press it through completely so it lies flat, tuck the fabric underneath your foot, and you're ready to go. Now you simply stitch your circle. You allow the feed dogs to move your fabric and guide it around the tack. And there you have it, a perfect circle. You can have a lot of fun with this little technique by simply changing the size of your circle by moving your tack further to the left or right. You can use different stitches on your machine, or you can create half circles or quarter circles off the edge of the fabric. So let's move this just about 4 inches away from the needle. So I'll put it over here. So I'm going to make a great big 8-inch circle, but I'm only going to use a quarter circle. So I'm going to put it on the edge of my fabric way out here, and I'm going to stitch with a fancy stitch. Let's choose, say, a heart stitch, and I'm just going to go to town having fun with a new stitch. Look how fun that can be. So this time I've cut my tape nice and close to the tack so I can get it nice and close to the feed dogs without going over. This way I can make a tiny circle. So let's give that a try. I'm going to try a more dense stitch, like a satin stitch, to make a fun little tiny circle. The key is to not allow the fabric to bunch up in between here. You want it to be the same flat distance. And there you have another circle. Here's another fun idea. I've already stitched a quarter of a circle that's about 9 inches onto my fabric as a guide, and now I'm going to couch some fun embellishment on top. So I simply get it on a regular zigzag stitch, and I don't have a special couching foot or anything. I'm just going to put my embellishment on there and start stitching right over top. The last tip I want to give you today before I go is I want to tell you how to get rid of this little hole that you have in the middle of your fabric. There's always going to be a hole from the tack, so you want to put your needle in all the way around the fabric and just nudge the fabric around so that that little hole closes up completely. You won't be able to see it at all. Thank you for joining me today for Stitched Circles. For even more fun, check out my podcast, Canadian Quilt Talk, at www.brandylanddesigns.com. Until next time, dream big and work hard in the studio with Canadian Quilt Talk.